and welcome to another episode of The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff. I'm Leslie Pogue, your host, and today's influential and significant moment is about perception. By the time this airs, hopefully this whole debate about this dress that showed up on Instagram will be over, but my guess is that by Monday we will unfortunately still be talking about it. Apparently there was a dress put up there that it appeared to be gold and white or blue and black, and once whoever ordered the dress it turned out to be blue and black. But there's all this controversy as to whether it is a switcheroo, if it's several different pictures, what the perception is. Here's my perception. The average news story is not long at all, but I watched the Today Show spend a couple hours actually. And granted, it was only for a few minutes within each hour, but still, they kept revisiting this story throughout the morning of their show. And this is about a dress. A dress not worn necessarily by anyone famous. A dress that, who cares what color it is, but this singer uploaded it to Instagram and asked the world what color it was, and now suddenly it's a buzz. And I have to ask the question to my viewers and really the world. Really? Do we have nothing better to discuss? Is there nothing else going on in our world? So I want us to question our perception of what we deem, I don't know, viewable, what we should talk about. You see, I'm speechless, and those of you who know me, you know I'm never speechless. But these are the kinds of things that just drive me up a wall. There are so many other topics: politics, religion, just personal growth, which is of course my passion, yourself, your friends, your family. Ask those kinds of questions. Let's talk about the kid that's excelling in school. Let's talk about the cat you saved. I don't know, but let's not spend hours talking about a dress that nobody really owns, that no one really cares about, and what color it is, who cares? That's our influential and significant moment. Feel free to tweet, retweet, Facebook, and check me out every week. And again, submit your questions and topics that you'd like us to cover, because really, we're talking about a dress. And sadly, so am I. Stay tuned for our main show. Hello and welcome back. Today's show is about emergency. Now, recently I found myself in the emergency room, and suffice it to say, I'm fine, but I do need to take a little bit better care of myself. However, it opened my eyes to our healthcare situation. Now, I'm an informed person and I'm aware that we have an issue and we have a problem, but until you see things up close and personal, you don't really understand or really realize just how serious it is. I went into emergency in my area. I won't divulge what area that is, but suffice it to say, it's a relatively calm area, and there was no one bleeding from the head. There were no real visually emergency type situations. Well, my brother took me in to come with me, and what we saw mostly were people coughing a lot. So it's a lot of flu symptoms and that kind of thing. But what was interesting to me is that in an 11-hour period, I know, I just heard some of you gasp. I know, really? 11-hour period. In an 11-hour period, my vitals were taken 6 times. Now, I'm not a healthcare professional. I'm sure there is a medical reason why my vitals were taken 6 times, and 2 of those times within less than 30 minutes. I'm sure there's a medical reason why. I for the life of me can't understand what that would be. It wasn't until the 11th hour, literally, that they asked for urine. No blood was taken. Before I even got to the back of emergency, in my opinion, after seeing the nurses 4 times prior to that, one of them, in one of those 4 times of taking my vitals, they could have taken urine at that time, run some tests, while I was sitting out there waiting with the rest of the population also hacking and coughing, which is also spreading whatever might be in the air. So I said all this to say, emergency? Question mark. Because, wow. But it got me thinking about how we live our lives that way, how we do the same things over and over and over again, how we go down the same road that we already know the answer to. You know what I mean? We retrace our steps and we circle back over the same stuff over and over and over again when we already got our answer. Even after we've done it 2-3 times, to keep going back and back and back doesn't make any sense. We do that with decisions, we do that with jobs, we do that with boyfriends and girlfriends and different choices that we make in our life. And the best way to move forward is to exactly do that. Move forward. You've gathered enough information to make a educated guesstimate. Because here's the thing about medicine. First of all, medicine is a practice. Just like the law, it's a practice. But so is life. Life is a practice. There are no real rules. There's laws, but there are no real rules. So that means that you have the opportunity to make it anything you want it to be. But instead, what we do is we second guess ourselves. We look at what other people are putting in our ears about how that's hard or it's impossible or no, you can't do that. Sure you can. You can do whatever you want. Here's where I want us to stop acting as if everything is an emergency, because clearly in the emergency room there's nothing urgent about it. Really, there really isn't. I mean, unless you're coming in bleeding from the head, and I hope, I truly hope that if someone came in bleeding from the head, that their actions are a lot faster than they were with me. But really, what I'd like to plant the seed today is for you to get to thinking about those choices that you make, the areas of your life where you are second guessing, even though you've done your due diligence, you've checked the ratings, you've checked the history, you know yourself, you know what you want, you've made the decision, you've set the plan in motion, and yet you're still going back and back and back, going, oh well, let me look at it again, let me look at it again, let me look at it again. No. You've already gathered your information. Now it's time to move forward. And as you move a little bit closer to the goal, along the way, do those little things. Like check your vitals along the way again. See if it has changed. Get the additional information, the additional reading, the additional tests, the additional questions asked and answered. Do all these things along the way, but don't continue to repeat checking on you, repeat checking on you, repeat checking on you. That's a waste of time. And you'll find yourself after a while sitting back going, man, why am I not moving forward? Could it be that you're still simply taking your temperature? Stop it. You know that your temperature is normal. And if your temperature is on fire, even better actually, because now You got a fire in your belly and you need to go, go, go. Yeah. Stop stalling. It is an emergency. You have got to get moving because time doesn't stop. Things continue to move forward whether you're ready to move forward with them or not. And I highly recommend that you take this opportunity to start, take your vitals, and then let the gates open and move forward. Put the Band-Aid on, strap up the boots, put your hat on, whatever you gotta do to move forward, just move forward. Because 11 hours can easily turn into 11 years of just waiting. And you don't want that. We'll be right back.
28 Days to Happy is a daily guide to walk you through acknowledging and accepting the truth about what's really going on in your world, to forgive yourself and others for the wrongs you feel have been done to you, and ultimately to identify and celebrate the happiness that is always there no matter what comes your way. The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff is a handy companion when you need a pick-me-up. It's a collection of blogs that speak primarily to personal soft skills that we all manage every day, from joy to grief, from who cares to self-care. It will give you a guide to make sense of the things in your life and find your positive side of the bad stuff. Both books are available now at Amazon.com and my website at www.softskillsdirect.com.
So how do you move forward? You take a step. And these 4 moves is what's going to get you moving forward. S.T.E.P. Okay? The S. Stop repeating what you've already put in place. You know what it is. You know where you are. We've talked about your truth. You've already identified that. So stop going back and retracing your steps. You've already set the groundwork. So stop repeating that. The T, your second step, is to set a time limit. When you give yourself a finite amount of time to get something done, it wrangles you in so that you're focused and you're able to know that from start to finish, this is how much time I have to do it. If you keep it open-ended, then there's too many reasons why not to do it. Okay, so you want to give yourself a time frame and be fair, and also don't make it too wide. Give yourself a week goal or a 1 month goal. You can do broader goals, but if you're doing the large goals, you want to have little goals along the way. So figure out what those are to get to the end result, which is our third step. The E, express what you want your end goal to be and the steps you think it'll take to get there. You might be right, you might be wrong, and that's where you'll have to, go back and check your vitals and make sure that you're on the right track. But basically, just set a plan in place and get started. And your last step, step number 4, is to perform the steps it takes to get to the end result. Step, S-T-E-P. Stop repeating stuff. Give yourself a time limit. Express where you want to go and what you need to do to get there. And perform those steps. It's that simple. That's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, feel free to Facebook me, tweet me, and please subscribe to The Positive Side of the Bad Stuff so you can be sure to get our episodes weekly. I look forward to seeing you on our next episode. And as always, go, be, do.